Hey guys, and welcome. I think I probably know most of you who are watching this video, but for those of you who don't know me, my name is Vicky Baker and I'm a Sapphire Executive with Jeunesse. And yes, I'm Stephen Baker's little sister. He's off having a ball in Vegas at the moment, so I'm taking this video. But today I'm just going to be talking you through a little website we've developed to help our team with getting started in Jeunesse. And you're probably wondering where this came from and why you haven't heard anything about it before, and that's because we really hadn't intended to open it up widely. It was kind of a little brainchild that a few of us had early on, and we're thinking it was a great, it'd be great to have like a one-stop shop for our training and getting started and piquing interest and things like that in Jeunesse. And to be honest, I guess I'm a little embarrassed. I didn't think it'd be going to, almost 7,000 people in the JFire umbrella group. And I guess a little disclaimer before we get into this, that you and your teams might not want to use it, and that's completely cool. I guess we just wanted you to know that this website called j-impact.com is there if and when you need it. So before we get started, there are a couple of reasons that we made the site. For those of you who don't know me, those of you who do know me, you know that I'm a bit of a process person. I'm a bit anal in that way, and I think what we come up with was we just wanted to have a simple process and a simple way to make sure that everyone had the most up-to-date information in Jeunesse and as they're getting started as possible. And when we're sending out various emails and links and documents, then they get out of date quickly, or sometimes they get out of date slowly, but every time they get out of date, then it was a real process making sure that everyone had the most up-to-date piece of information available. So the up-to-date email that you send out, or the up-to-date pack sheets that you send out. So what we thought was it would be great to have one place where you can access all those documents. I guess those of you who know me also know that I'm a bit of a geek, and I just wanted to see if we could make a website. So I think we did it. we nailed it. So they're the couple of reasons behind the website, and I guess where all the information that we have on this website has come from all the knowledge from all of our leaders, and I apologise to all of our leaders. I have been doing a little bit of hand picking. I took Ange Lucenti's JFire Getting Started training, Aaron's 15 Steps Getting Started, James's 5-step system, and really, tried to condense everything down, and got my sticky notes out and made sure that I covered off on everyone's most important points to have it in all this one-stop shop. So we've been trialing this in our team for the last couple of months, and getting some really great feedback. People are finding the system pretty simple to use, and if they're not finding it simple to use, then we've been tweaking it along the way. So that's been another great thing about having our own website is being able to just quickly make changes and get those changes up as soon as they are needed. And before I really get started, I guess I wanted to also say that we know that there are a lot of teams that come under the JFire umbrella. We've got Living the Dream team, we've got Legacy, we've got J Impact, we've got Diamond Club, and there's a lot of amazing training out there. And if you found something, or as a leader, you found something that works with your team, then stick with it. That's completely cool. We won't be offended. But we really wanted to open this up just in case there were aspects to your training that you thought maybe could be improved, or you could have a look at this website and think, wow, I don't really like the format, but I'll take this document and this document and use it within our training. So it's there as much as what you want, or as little as what you want. So okay, ready to get into it and get started. So I thought the best way to look at the website would be to come at it from a new starter's perspective. And so to do that, I'll just quickly share my screen. Here we go. And I hopefully have got it all right. Okay, share screen. There we go. Okay, so This is our step one email that we send to people. So I think most teams have a similar system where they send someone an email to get started, and I think it's a really great personal way to for someone to start out in Jeunesse. I would personalize it as much as possible, give them a compliment in their first email, say how much you're looking forward to working with them. But in our basic getting started email, we also have to make sure that people are really on track and have a clear process to follow, because if there's one thing that people don't like, it's to be in a void and not really know what they're doing. So having some steps to follow is really important. Most people that join Jeunesse join on a starter pack, and so that means that they've got skincare typically. So making sure that in this first email people know how to use the skincare correctly is really important. So we've got a link to make sure that they can access that information. And before we begin, we talk to them about auto ship. These are all things that you should have covered off before you actually send this email, but this is just to reiterate in the email. Make sure that they've registered for auto ship and they've been added to the team's Facebook page. So that could be just the J5 Founders Group for you, or it could be one of those subgroups that I mentioned earlier. So making sure that people are added to Facebook groups, really important. Register them in for the Monday night webinar, and make sure that they've gone over and liked the Jeunesse Global South Pacific page. These are things that you can mention to them before you actually send the email. Also, we've got a few short audios that we all love, that we want people to, it's really about getting belief in the industry. So we encourage people to listen to Brilliant Compensation by Tim Sales, The Law of Reaping and Sowing by Jim Rohn. If there's an audio that you absolutely adore, throw it in there. Take one out and throw it in there. Just let them know that they're about belief in the industry, and to pop them on in their car if they have a time, or just while they're doing something else. We also have space for the website address, username and password, but we also in this email encourage people actually not to go looking in their back office too early on, because it can be quite daunting in the back office. And so we've got some training videos down the track that will help them with that. And then we get into the nitty-gritty. So it's about the first step in your business training. And once you click on this link here, it takes you to step one on our website, which again is j-impact.com. But what I like about this system also is that in this step one website, that they can't access anything else. So there's no links to it, the rest of the website, there's nothing else. All they can access is this step one. When they open this step one, it's got a video of Steve basically saying, welcome to the team, which is great. And then they can download the step one workbook, which I'll see if I can bring that up. A step one workbook, which we basically call the goals workbook. Here it is, and I won't go through this, but as you can see, it's sort of reiterating all the basics to getting started. It talks about hitting executive and finding 2 customers to use the products. It has a little script there for people that are just getting started, which is really handy. We prepare them, and I think Stephen actually goes into this in his welcome video. We prepare them for and I don't want to say rejection, but some of the negativity that they might face within their first, couple of days, weeks, months in Jeunesse. And that's really just to make sure that they are prepared for it, so that when it happens, they can either laugh about it, talk to the sponsor, or talk to you about it, which is it's really handy for newbies. We talk about some training audios and what their favourite parts from the training audios were, but then we go into something that Angela Senti ran a training about not long ago, is really digging down into people's whys, which we find really important in these initial stages, because then we can go back and talk to them about what their goals are when they're having those down moments. Goals and commitments. Now, this is something that we thought was really good to have early on, is to start people thinking about what their actual story is. And we've broken it down into 4 sections. And we found recently that, some people that have been in Jeunesse for a year, 2 years, you ask them to tell you their 1-minute story, and they go on for 10 minutes about, and then this happened, and then this happened. It's really important within Jeunesse to have a succinct story. Sorry, I can't actually speak. A succinct story so that it just flows out of your mouth. So we encourage people to write that down really early on, and it can be tweaked and changed and moved and updated as much or as little as you like. But if we get someone to record that, if it's under 2 minutes, perfect. And then they can send it through for a critique. Then at the end of the step 1 workbook, we say, okay, cool, you've done that. Wonderful. Take a few pics of the various parts of your book and send it to your sponsor and set up your call. So that call is to go through your workbook, any questions, and then to set you on the path to step 2. And at the back of this workbook, I think Taylor came up with this amazing idea of having a little cheat sheet for people to cut out and keep. And it's just got some facts on the products, the company, the comp plan, and then all your details that you might want to have, at the front of your folder or at the front of your diary. So that's our step 1 workbook. Once people have gone through step 1 with you and you're their sponsor and they've called you and said, yep, I'm ready for step 2, then you can send them over to j-impact.com, which is this website here. Up the top there you can see, actually, let me just reshare. J-Impact, there we are, jimpact.com, and that opens up the rest of the website. But you'll see if you click on step 2, there is a password. So people, they might have been smart cookies and found jimpact.com themselves, but they won't be able to get into step 2 without this password, which it's impact. So I'll pop that in. But I wouldn't release that password until someone's really shown you that they've completed step 1. Very similar to step 1, we've got a video, Taylor explaining what step 2 is all about. And step 2 for us and for this training is all about your launch. So this is all to be done within, your newbies should be starting step 2 all within 48 hours, wherever possible. And so again, we've got the great video, we've got some other helpful videos here, which are part of our blog system, but we've also got the step 2 workbook, which is all about your launch. And I won't go into that now because you can go in and download it for yourself. And again, these workbooks could be something that you want to workshop with your team and check out whether they suit you and the direction that your teams are going. You feel free not to use the website. You can use the workbooks themselves and email those out, whatever you like. Okay, so someone's gone through the website, they've hopefully gone through step 2, they've hopefully launched their business, and they can be launched online or in person, or using our Friday night launch system. And that's fantastic. So what now? And I guess what now is for us is step 3. And we sort of think about step 3 as going pro or actually learning to become a network marketer, which step 3 is going to last forever. So for us, step 3, there's a little video about your post-launch, and then we talk about what we think is, the basics of network marketing, the basics of becoming a professional is this System 6. And System 6 is something that Angela Senti has basically come up with, and that's these 6 steps to actually your daily life, the rest of your life in network marketing. It really revolves around these 6 things, which are developing your contact list, inviting and piquing interest, sharing the information in one of a heap of different ways, which could be getting someone along to a live event, which is number 1 for conversions, sending a link, getting on a Monday night or a Friday night webinar, launching their business, all of those kind of things. So sharing the information is number 3. Following up with a prospect, and I think James Yates has got a really great video and some amazing training on following up with your prospects, and that's really high up in the importance in System 6 is, you might have talked to someone for 3 weeks and then completely forget about them and think, I sent them a link and I didn't actually give them a call to check that they got it. That's a real missed opportunity. So following up is really important. Introducing an expert, which usually happens through a 3-way call for us, and that's something that we need to use more of in our business is 3-way calls. And you can use 3-way calls for prospecting or welcomes or just team trainings, things like that. And then number 6 in the System 6 is enrolling into the business system. So this is your network marketing job description, basically. We like to think of it as. On this page, we've also got a few little, documents to help you in your System 6 journey. And one of our favorites, and this is something that Taylor Daly does amazingly, is she uses her, let me just grab it up, her daily tracker. So every day she has this printed out and she fills it in every single day. So we talk about the System 6. So we've got new contacts. You can add all the people that you've made new contact with today, people that you've invited to share, to view the information, people that you've actually shared the information with, all of your follow-ups, and they're worth 4 points, and your calls from today, your 3-way calls, your new 3-way calls today, and your enrollment. So somewhere that you can print out every day, pop the date on, and access that information. Let me just make this. Okay. Another thing that Ange was talking about the other night was actually having a physical contact list. So we've got this in Excel format, but also a printout sheet that you can just download, print out, and you can write on as a physical list. So making sure that you've got all of your names in one space is really important, and then you've got space for when you've actually followed up with them is really important, and any notes that you need to take. And keeping that list up to date as much as possible. Put it on a list, as Jim Rohn would say. There's also a video. This is Angela Senti going through the secret system, which is basically our System 6. Very handy. I won't go into that right now. So that's our System 6. So this is really, once someone's got through to this point and knows what their job description is within Jeunesse, then we can start really bumping up the videos and training. And I probably should pop these two on the opposite sides, but if we go into our videos and training, we've got a lot of training links in here. Mostly in this section is to do with Jeunesse. So you can basically say, look, go ahead and start working your way through the training links. Whatever you're trying to learn, there's a video on it, and that could be from our diamond trainings or just amazing trainings that all of our leaders within JFire have been doing over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So things like in this training section, we've got our official Jeunesse documents, but we've also got things around our pay plan and back office. So I think there's videos from Stephen and Craig, Taylor, Ange in all of these sections. So I'd encourage people just to have a look in these sections. If there's videos and training that they haven't seen, then there's also a space for you to download and keep a copy on your computer if you like. But what I like about having all these links in one area on a website is that, if we change a link, if we have a new training, we can add it in here, and then people can keep coming back to this page and it will always be updated. And if you have any suggestions about things that I've missed out on here, then please just let me know and I can add them in. We also have industry and personal development. And this is one of the parts of network marketing that I've absolutely adored. Is the focus on personal development is huge. And so we've got some of our favorite audios and videos in this section, so that as a newbie you don't really know where to look. And my favorite tool, I guess, in network marketing is Google. So I jump on and I'm always Googling, how do I talk to my nurse about Jeunesse? Anything you can think of, you can Google. But when you really want some motivation or something to lift you up, then personal development links are the absolute bomb. So jump on here. We've got things from Todd Falcone, Eric Warre. We've got general success and motivation. And for those of you who actually have a paid Dropbox account, I've shared my Dropbox link here. Unfortunately you need a paid Dropbox account because it's too big for the general one. So if you have a paid account, you might be able to access all of my favorite audios direct to your Dropbox. So that's cool too. So that's the videos and training side of things. We also have a little blog on here which we're working on. It doesn't look it doesn't look amazing at the moment. This is part of the website that I'm a little bit embarrassed about still kind of working it out. But if you go to the blog and you're thinking that you want to learn more about something like the back office, then we have a way to search via tag. So you can click on down here, click on back office, and hopefully it will bring up some back office videos. There we are. Here's Stephen talking about how to log placement, the join now process, and just some general back office training. So that might be something that will help you in your journey. And one of my favorite videos is Stephen talking about the preparing people for negativity, which is the Apple's document here. This the Apple's training, which is there. Okay, so that's the videos and training side of things. Now I'm moving on to, so now you've got a newbie in Jeunesse and they want to start prospecting and inviting. So they've looked at some training on inviting. They've gone through step 2, which talks a lot about inviting, but now they want to send out links to people. So we've got a sheet here that has a lot of the links that we typically send out to our prospects and to our, our friends and family, all in one place. And hopefully these are all up to date. If not, let me know and I can update them. But the top links that we send to people, we've got, I've got a lot of stuff in here from Stephen and Taylor because I work closely with those guys. But we've got some general Jeunesse videos. These are the ones that I tend to send out the most. But then we've got broken down into sections like compensation, full overviews. We've got the skincare, we've got the science. So your newbies within Jeunesse can have all of these links just available for them on their computer at a moment's notice instead of having to start pulling them together themselves. And anytime a link changes, this will be updated. So that's another great way to use this website, and that could be the only way you use it, just to make sure that you've got the most up-to-date links. We've also got in here links to our customer packs. I'm getting these updated as we speak. Someone's looking at these for me. Unfortunately, they're all in Australian prices at the moment. Perhaps down the track, or if someone in New Zealand wants to do it for the New Zealand market, we can talk about that. But we've got our customer packs. We've got a general sign-up form in there. We've got Steve's explanation on why we choose the bigger packs and the sign-up. Sometimes you might send that out to a particular person if they're wondering why they should choose a bigger pack. And then in here, what I like about this system and using a website is that we've got our getting started email, and I've got it in 2 places in case you forget where to find it. Our getting started email here as a document online. So anytime a link needs to be updated or a URL changes, or we want to add something to the email that we think is really relevant to a new starter, we can add it in here and you can access the most up-to-date version here. That's not to say, sometimes it is easier just to save it as a draft in your email provider, but if you want to make sure that your email's up to date and all the links are working, then jump on here and we'll keep this up to date. Okay, I think that's just about it. I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope you find something about the website useful. If not, completely cool too. And any questions, please just chat with your sponsor about it, whether you're going to use it or not. Just talk to your leader in your area, and they can talk to you about what parts of this that you might find useful for your team. So thank you very much, and all the best.